Hey guys, so my name is Nuri Castillo Crawford, and if you've been connecting with me here on my weekly blog, I'm super excited that you're joining me again. If you're new, welcome. So, let me tell you a little bit about how to get a hold of me. You can find me on Facebook under my name, Nuri Castillo Crawford. And also, I'm on 1010 Publishing US. So you can find me on 1010 Publishing on Facebook and under my name. On LinkedIn, I have a lot of connections on LinkedIn. So you can definitely find me on LinkedIn. If you are an educator, you can find the organization that I am a part of. It's called GALAS, GALAS. I'm on LinkedIn on GALAS as well. And we also have a Facebook page. I'm also on Twitter at RLNUNUCC. And you can find me on Instagram on 1010 Publishing. If you want something more personal, definitely email me at 1010publishingus at gmail.com. That's 1010 publishingus at gmail.com. And hit me up at 470-440-0018. That's 470-440-0018. That's my business mobile. So text me or give me a call. I might not always answer right away, but I definitely will get back with you within 24 hours. So if you ever have any questions about what we blog about, or if you have a publishing need, or you want to get a hold of me about coming to visit your organization with my book, definitely hit me up in one of those media platforms, or like I said, email or phone. So this week, since I am going to be taking a trip, first let me tell you the kind of like the format of the blog. So we start with something to do with immigrant or immigration contribution or some fact, because I'm an immigrant. And then we'll talk something about book publishing or the book. And then I just give you a little rundown about where I'm going to be this weekend or the rest of the week. So to start off, less than 2% of our nation's 14,000 school districts are run by Latino superintendents. That's a really low number, seeing that our number of K 12 students of Latino Hispanic descent has steadily increased and continues to increase in this nation. And I've always said that children need to see themselves in their leaders, their educators, the books that they read, etc. And it's also great for just children in general to see a diversity in their teachers, in their leaders, in the books too. So I think that we need to work on that and encourage our Latino youth to go into education, and maybe eventually go into leadership, so that we have a more diverse population leading our school systems. So that's my tidbit about that, about immigration and Latino Hispanic youth and our communities in education. So this week, the rest of this week and weekend, I fly out to Utah. I know, right? Utah. Well, we're gonna have a conference there with ALAS, which is the National Association of Latino Administrators and Superintendents. So I'll be meeting and just getting some more tidbits of information and knowledge, collaborating and engaging with other Latino leaders, just to see how we can support our teachers or our aspiring leaders into leadership roles, and simultaneously how to work with just other leaders and other teachers, other aspiring leaders, and not necessarily of Latino or Hispanic descent, descendants to collaborate and to move our Latino youth forward. Um, so it's an exciting time, and I'm totally excited to be joining Alas on Thursday in Utah. And it's supposed to snow too. So I got an email that said it was going to be like the 20s and 30s and that it was going to be possible snow. So I definitely will take a coat with me and maybe throw a scarf in there or something. I know that last time I went, we did a lot of walking, so I don't want to freeze. So anyway, all right. So recently I've been getting a lot of questions once again about publishing. I talked last week about how important the book cover is to your book, and I stand by that statement. And also in the beginning of January, and I think the last 2 weeks in January maybe, and the first week of February, I had some important blogs about publishing your book. One of the things that I want to talk to you about today is if you are ready to start putting your book together and you have some ideas. The number one thing to me is reading a lot of books. So in order to find your own voice, you have to read about the other people's voices, to use them as models and examples of what a good book to you sounds like. You know, one of the things that I always say is you have to be very descriptive and share and reflect the story that you have all in your head in your words. Children work on that through writing standards and education and in educational settings and schools throughout, their grades. So as a writer, you need to read a lot of different books, different genres, and try to pay attention to the author's voice. How are they sharing their story? How are they portraying their characters? The flow of the book. How does it start? How do you know you get to the apex of the story? The climax, the big part, the problem, whatever you want to call it. And then how do you go down from there? If you're writing a novel or a young adult novel, those things are very important. If you're writing a children's book, having, of course, an introduction, and then the middle part of when things are happening, and then, of course, your ending, something powerful in the end as well. In children's books, remember, once again, you need to be very mindful, and when you have your pictures and your illustrations done, they have to tell half the story. Children's books are told not only with the words, but also with the pictures in the books. So your illustrator is important, of course, for your book cover, etc. But in children's books, they're literally half the battle. They're half the power of your book is in the illustrations. So you have to be very mindful of that. If you are ready to write your book, you need to go ahead and start reading more books, learning the flow, learning the author's voice, so that you can find your own voice. And then maybe have a couple people read it just to see, like, hey, what do you think about the introduction, etc. Remember this week to go ahead and make some time for yourself and start writing. Set a time, 15 minutes. Tell yourself that's your goal, 15 minutes to write on your book. So you have to dedicate it. It takes time, and sometimes you kind of are like running out of time because you have so much to do, or you have tons and tons and tons of things to do. So sometimes you don't always make it a priority. But if you're serious about your story and you're serious about your book, I really, really, really recommend that you set up some time every single day to write your book. If you have any questions or you just want to chat about your book, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to, just engage with you and run through some stories, etc. Remember that you can always hit me up on email at 1010 publishingus@gmail.com. It's 1010 Publishing US. I told you where I was going to be the rest of the week and on the weekend, and I'm super excited about that. And I want you to know that in the summertime, I am looking to try to connect with some public libraries to do the summer tours, and I've been contacted by one. It's not 100% down. We haven't solidified any agreement or anything, but I'm looking forward to doing that. I think that would be great. March 23rd, if you know someone near Tallahassee, Florida, or you yourself live in Tallahassee, Florida, I used to live there, and I went to high school there at Rickards High School, and I went to Florida A&M University there. So if you know someone or you're in Tallahassee, Florida, March 23rd, I'll be there doing a little soiree at the Rickards High School Media Center at 6 p.m. that Friday night. And then during that day, I will be going to 2 different elementary schools. And then Saturday, the 24th, from 11 to noon, I will be at the public library. So I hope I get to see a lot of people out there and just share my story and share the book. If you have any questions about that, you can hit me up on that too. It's on Eventbrite at 3,585 miles to be an American girl. So if you have not given me a review on Amazon and you have the book, I'd love to hear from you. So hit me up on there too. All right. Well, have a great rest of the week. Do what you need to do to get your book in writing. Talk to me if you need any suggestions or you have any questions. I wish you nothing but the best. And last but not least, before I say goodbye, I heard that the courts have postponed any action against the DACA recipients. So I'm very excited about that. That's great. The kids will hopefully be able to not worry so much for a minute. It'll be short-lived. I know it's going to be in the court system for a minute, but I'm hoping for the best, and I want all of them to know that I stand with them and that I'm praying that all of that will be resolved soon. So have a great rest of your week, guys. Bye.